Mr. Snyder here with the 10th tutorial for Audacity audio editing program for our 30-second radio commercial. At this point, we've laid in all of our voice tracks, the two up the top, and our 6 sound effects, starting from the knife sounds and all the way down. The final sound effect I laid in was the fire extinguisher. They have to be in order because things have to happen in a logical order. In other words, you can't have an alarm happening before you have an explosion. Okay, so things have to happen in a natural progression. What I've done now is shrunk down the view of all of my tracks. I went to View, Track, right here, Track Size, and collapse all tracks, Shift Command C. And it allows me to see all of my tracks on this view. Now, I'm going to just look at one. I seem to have a bit of an issue. Remember, at 30 seconds, everything needs to be done at this point here, up here. Well, if you look down my tracks, oh look, I've got something a little bit odd down here going on. What is that? So that's my alarm track, and if you look, the alarm clip extends beyond the 30 seconds. So I just want to make sure I clean that off. So I'm going to click at a point before 30 seconds, but not go into the fade of the alarm. Okay, there's the tagline, so maybe I can cut it just a bit tighter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this track, Command I to split it. You get the heavy black line. I'm going to take this section now using my time shift tool, and I'm going to move it over. And then I'm going to use my selection tool. I'm going to select that and delete it. Okay, so now it's nice and clean. The whole timeline now, Shift Command C, collapses everything. Everything ends now before 30 seconds. So good. So I'm all set now. There's only one thing left I need to do, and that's to place my music into my timeline that's sort of underneath of everything. So that's what we're going to do in this tutorial now, is add the music. And that's really quite simple in this project. So how are we going to do it? We're going to go Shift Command I for import. I have to go back to my I'm going to go to the assets folder. I have to go into the music folder because I moved my music into this 4th folder. Your music may still be in the sound effects folder. Okay, open it up. Let me see. The accordion was not music that I used, so this particular track is not the one we want. I use the background chill. So I'm going to pick that one. If you have any doubts, you can open up the 2 files outside of Audacity and just take a quick listen. I'm going to use a chill out. Click OK. It's importing the music. And it'll add it to a track down here below the fire extinguisher. So anytime it adds a track, it always adds it below at the bottom, and then you can rearrange things if you needed to. We went through some of that already. Here we go, finishing up. Oh, look at that, and look at how loud it is. Look at the peak of that waveform. So first of all, let's reduce the height of this track to something like this. Okay, and let's go back, scroll over to the left. Oh, look, it is so big that we can barely see the rest of the project. So let me blow this up, zoom in. Okay, there we go. Now I can start to see the music with the rest of the tracks. Remember, this music's going to end somewhere in here. So let me just see what part of the music I want to use first. Let me solo it. I'm going to use the ding 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 portion. Okay, when it went ding, 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 I think it's in here. That'll be the start of my music. Maybe a little sooner. Yeah, I'm going to use it right in here. So I'm going to take everything before that and just get rid of it. So using my selection tool, select it. I don't need all that. Actually, let me see what this sounds like. I'm going to use it from here. So I'm going to get rid of that little bit at the start. I'm going to make sure that it's at the beginning of this project. which it currently appears to be. But you can see how big it is, and it becomes very unmanageable because it's so much longer than the rest of the 30-second project. Just take your selection tool, click on it somewhere out here. I'm at a minute up here. I gotta go about 45 seconds. Click, Command-I to split it. So you gotta split it. I'm gonna move over the last part of the music, and then I'm going to zoom out so I can see it all. And I'm going to use my selection tool, and I'm going to really just get rid of all that. I don't need any of it. Okay, so let's see where we're at. Now I got to zoom way in. There we go. Okay, and scroll over. So there you can see 30 seconds is right here. I'm not going to need any of this. I'm going to actually get rid of some more. So Command-I to split it, and then I'm going to use my time shift just to give me a bit of a gap. Selection tool, just so I don't delete too much. Select that clip, get rid of it. There we go. So now I've got more than 30 seconds of music. I'm going to zoom out a bit. There we go. And now let's just take a listen to what it's going to sound like from the very beginning of the commercial. Selection tool, go to the very start, play. Oops, take it off solo.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? Why do you...
Okay, I like that right in here better. So I'm going to command, let me blow it up a bit, zoom in. Here we go, it's zooming in around where I marked. I'm going to use this point here, and I'm going to I'm going to split it there, and then I'm going to go back to my selection tool. And I am going to select all of this and delete it. Okay, so now let's take a listen.
Hello, dear. Hello, dear. I'm making dinner.
I don't like it. Command-Z, undo it. It's back. I'm going to go with my original point. Change my mind. That's the nice thing about non-destructive, is I just Command-Z it and I get it back. I'm going to take off this little pause at the start. There we go. Let's listen. Now, this is way too loud, so it's kind of hard to tell what it's all sounding like. So for this, because the music's all on one track, let's just bring it down. Let's try minus 9 decibels, just to start, just a rough guess. And let's listen.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure?
Okay, pretty close. I like it. But it's obviously just a little bit too loud. It's still competing. The phrase we use is the music is competing with the voices right now, not complementing the voices. Complementing means it's there to be heard, but it's not overpowering the voices. And right now it's just a little too loud. Let me play that for you again and listen to how you have to strain a little bit to hear the voices.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen skills before.
Especially right in here around the 9-second mark. It's just a little too loud. So I'm going to go to my track volume. It's at minus 9. I'm going to take it to, say, let's go to minus 12 and see how that works. Okay, go to your selection tool. Go back to the start of the project. Now let's listen and see if it's a little easier to hear the voices without the music competing with the voice, more complementing the voices.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure?
My estimation, it's still a little loud. I'm going to take it down to minus 14. Oh, let's try minus 15. Okay, go back to the beginning. So it's going to be up to you to decide based on your volume settings that you've done for all your tracks to decide where the music needs to live. But I'm going to be down somewhere in this range here, minus 15-ish.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? What are you making?
Bacon and tomato sandwiches.
Are you sure? I've seen your kitchen skills before. Maybe we should just order dinner from Uber Eats.
Uber Eats? I've got this.
Yeah, a little loud. I'm going to take it down to minus 16. You know, it's just small adjustments, but little things make a big difference in both audio and video production. So small adjustments make a big difference. I'm taking it to minus 16.
Hello, dear. I'm making dinner tonight.
Oh, no, really? What are you making?
Bacon and
Okay, I like that. I think that's a good place for my music to live with my project. Okay, so the next thing I have to do is go to the end of my commercial. Let me just zoom out. There it is there. And I have to go and fix the ending of the music now. Let's take a listen and take a look at what that's showing us.
The accidents.
It's a little abrupt, right? I want to fade that out, not just have it cut out like that.
The accidents.
Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to expand my track height. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to place my play bar near the end, and that way when I zoom in now, it'll zoom in around the play bar. There you go. See? And we have this commercial ending before 30, so this audio, this music needs to be faded out at approximately, let me blow it up, zoom in just a bit more, and place my play bar right there. Right at this point, this music needs to be basically faded out. Okay, so how do we do a fade again? We're going to go to our audio envelope tool, which can be kind of finicky. Click on it. Remember 2 points. Click up here on the blue band. First point's our anchoring point. Okay, don't drag it down when you click because you're changing the level. That anchoring point is going to anchor all of the audio that comes before it on this music track. So it's not going to adjust anything until it reaches this point. Then the second point we're going to add is at approximately where we want the fade to end. So we're going to put a second point there, and you can see it. And that becomes then our adjustment point for the audio here. So zoom in a bit more. Let's see a bit more. Too far, zoom out. Okay, so now here's the trick with this, is you need to bring the adjustment point here, which is called a keyframe, bring it down, and I want this music gone. Now, let me just blow up or increase the track height here. I really want to show you the detail here, because this can be very finicky. Okay, and if you can see the detail here, there's the 2 white dots, and if I pull down too far, it starts to pull back on where the fade is going to end. So I'm going to pull it down like so, and then I'm going to listen and say, okay, is the music faded out by 30 seconds? So let's just play this. I'm going to have to zoom out because I'm listening to too short of a clip, so I'm going to go about 2 seconds back.
Fast food without the accidents.
Okay, maybe a bit of a fast fade there, so let's zoom in. Now here's something I've sort of learned using this program. Go to the audio envelope tool. Once you've said that you want to fade down at this point, the second point, the adjustment keyframe, you've taken it down to 0. Okay, so don't take it beyond 0. What you can do then is you can go to your anchoring keyframe. It's easier now to adjust the length of your fade. See how this is a much bigger space. That space represents time. That's a longer fade. So I thought it was too short of a fade. That's going to be too long. Let's actually just listen to it just because. Zoom out.
Uber Eats. Fast food without the accidents.
Actually not bad, really. Let's zoom in. Audio envelope tool. Let's slide over to where the 2 points are. I'm going to say let's split the difference. I'm going to take the anchoring point. I'm going to say don't adjust anything before it, but I'm going to speed up that fade a little bit more. Okay, so it doesn't happen quite as early, and it's going to be a little bit faster because there's less time in between. Let's see how that works. And really, it's not just how it looks. It's actually not at all how it looks. It's actually how does it sound, just like when you're doing sound effects. Okay, let's play it again. Now listen carefully to the fade.
Uber Eats. Fast food without the accidents. Uber Eats. Fast food without the accidents. Uber Eats. Fast food without the accidents.
Something about it I'm not quite liking. I'm going to zoom in. I think it needs to fade a little bit earlier. I might have had it better the first time. audio envelope. So let's fade it a little bit earlier, somewhere in here. Okay, let's listen to that.
Uber Eats, fast food without the accidents.
I like that.
Eats, fast food without the accidents. Uber
Okay,
Eats,
so that's what I'm going
fast-
to go with. So I'd like you now to lay the music into your project. You're going to lay it in. You're going to cut off the beginning and the end so you get it to a manageable size on your music track. You're going to adjust the audio level of this track, just the music, by using the slider here for the track volume. And then you're going to go to the very end of your music and you're going to use your audio envelope tool to get a nice fade on your audio so it's not abruptly cutting off. So good luck, enjoy, have fun. This is a little challenging, as have been the sound effects, but that's what audio and video editing is all about. Making those small changes can make a big difference.